Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their new books, novels, comics, and video games, but also let's not forget about their new Star Wars films and TV shows that are currently in the works by, of course, Disney and Lucasfilm, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and others out there that's really contributing their lives to Star Wars as we know it. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. We do post a couple of fun and entertaining things on there from time to time and interact with you guys further. So we're in a very exciting time for Star Wars right now. I mean, it's pretty much, key to point out here that Disney is finally coming to the realization that they really have to step on their A game and to really kind of push these goals forward in order to really bring Star Wars back to life. And that's exactly what they're doing. So, Disney CEO Bob Chapek, alright, he took over in Q1 to Q2 of 2020 in a semi-way where Bob Iger was kind of shadowing, watching over him. And when we go ahead and see how Chapek is now finally on his own, and we can see all of these different things coming together now. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, George Lucas working on Star Wars. Keep in mind that this is all allowed and is actually all possible because of Bob Chapek. He is the one allowing all of this to really happen. Now, given that Chapek is working around the clock to make sure that Star Wars can thrive and survive, what's really intriguing has everything to do with what he recently approved to actually happen on the Disney Plus platform in the coming years that's really going to raise the bar for Star Wars, not just for the fans, but also to create brand new Star Wars fans. So, with that being said, what's really all the more exciting has everything to do with Star Wars movies. So with Bob Chapek dedicating his life to the future of Star Wars, Marvel, and more, Chapek is currently developing multiple plans to keep the Star Wars universe rolling in a successful way for the fandom to enjoy for the years to come. Now, recently, it's described that Chapek made the biggest call and decision for the future of Star Wars movies, and exactly what's happening with how they will be organized. It's described that Chapek is not only allowing multiple Star Wars shows to release a year on Disney+, but that also Chapek recently approved the use of Star Wars movies to be made exclusively for Disney+, that will be treated as solo films that will focus on multiple new eras of the Star Wars universe. It's described further that also new films will be releasing in theaters. However, the films planned for Disney Plus are said to hold strong connections to already planned Star Wars TV shows. Not only, of course, for solo films going to be released in theaters along with 2 new trilogies, but Disney Plus will also be the home of a host of exclusive Star Wars movies in order to experiment with different formats of films. Now, it's described that one Star Wars movie that is already in the early development phase is said to be a Darth Bane solo film that will work in conjunction with the already planned Star Wars Old Republic TV series that's also slated for 2024. The Disney Plus Star Wars movies are said to be features that add more to already existing Star Wars shows. Meanwhile, the solo films for theaters are going to be their own thing along with the 2 new trilogies, if that makes sense. Currently, Disney's plan is that they want to make sure that Star Wars can actually create something mega expansive, not just for fans, but also to create new fans. That's, of course, to make Star Wars bigger than ever before. The plan by Lucasfilm is to nearly explore all angles of Star Wars Legends. That is said to be Chapek's way to create his own legacy by exploring all avenues of Star Wars. Now, the films for Disney Plus are set to begin sometime in 2024 that will create another new step for Star Wars to evolve. Disney is making sure that each and every one of these new projects will be made of quality and will pay deep attention to the Star Wars lore and to the hardcore fans that they now want to actually cater to. Disney is said to have finally realized that they made terrible mistakes with the sequel trilogy films, and that films like Darth Bane, as a movie, will dive more into the creation of the Rule of Two. Now, in fact, the project featuring Darth Bane is currently dubbed as the Rule of Two, and they are aiming to use that type of branding for the titles of the new movies, such as the young Luke Skywalker TV series already being dubbed simply as Star Wars Jedi Knight. The new movies for Disney Plus are said to be character-focused and smaller scale, yet very detailed. Meanwhile, the theatrical releases will be more expansive Star Wars movies that will be more broad, featuring a ton more characters. Now, the thing about this major deal that Bob Chapek is currently allowing, the fact that we are going to be getting Disney Plus oriented Star Wars movies, it really does go to show you that they are trying to really kind of surpass any kind of level that they previously were at. They're really trying to bring Star Wars to a different level that we have never seen. Now, not only are we getting TV shows on Disney Plus, solo films in theaters, as well as 2 new trilogies, being the 4th trilogy and the continuation of the Skywalker saga eventually in the near future. We're also going to be getting these dedicated solo character-driven films that's going to, like I say, work in conjunction with the already existing Star Wars TV shows. Now, the thing about that is that it's a very interesting format, the fact that the Disney Plus Star Wars movies are going to be smaller scale. What do we mean by that? Well, it's going to feature fewer characters, fewer environments, and it's going to be more focused on one single character and that character's journey. That's a very interesting kind of experiment by Disney to kind of focus on one key character, and kind of like they did so with Solo: A Star Wars Story, they kind of did that. I wouldn't say it was as small scale as they're already planning for the already existing, planned Star Wars movies for Disney Plus, but they want to make these movies very much driven for single characters that are already established either in the Legends or in the already existing Star Wars canon material. Now, I gotta say one thing here is that when you go ahead and look at what Bob Chapek is doing, he is allowing every single Star Wars, angle to actually come into fruition. He's looking at all of Legends, he's allowing John and Dave to experiment with this. We're going to be learning more about this, officially speaking, at Star Wars Celebration. Keep your eyes open for that. Now, some people out there are going to probably argue about this, and that's fine, that there are way too many Star Wars projects currently being thrown out there. And hey, I mean, at the end of the day, if it's all quality, and if it's very enjoyable, and if it's really going to gain a fan base, and it's going to really cater to the Star Wars fans at heart, I think we're okay. I think that we're fine. I mean, look at what Marvel's doing with all of their movies and all their TV shows. That's basically what Star Wars wants to do. They want to release multiple Star Wars movies, but split them up, if that makes sense. They want to have some on Disney Plus, and they also want to have some in theaters. So, unlike with Marvel, alright, Marvel releases a ton of movies a year. Disney wants to split it up. Having some in theaters, having some on Disney Plus, and alongside with the Star Wars shows, and all the like. Now, quite frankly, if they don't move forward with quality material, then you have a problem. That's where their plan is going to be sabotaged. It's not going to go all that far. Again, this is going to be their way of experimenting. They want to make sure that they can do things right and really make things very character-focused on Disney Plus. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.